So in the second episode of my all-time favourite 11, this time I look at the right backs. Hello, my name's Richard. Welcome back to my channel over and over and over again, which features everything to do with Arsenal. And this is part 2 of my all-time favourite Arsenal 11. And I'll be looking at the top 3 right backs before I pick one to go into my team alongside David Seaman, of course, who I selected as my goalkeeper. Just before I do that, I just want to make sure that you are subscribing to my channel. If you like what I do, please click the subscribe button down in the corner there. Please give this video a thumbs up as well if you like it. And if you've got any comments at all about who your favourite right back would be, who you'd put in the side, please drop them in the comments box below, because I do love to hear from you guys as well. So number 1 then, the first right back, the first really good right back that I can remember Arsenal having was Viv Anderson. Of course, we signed him from Nottingham Forest in 1984. I was really excited about this signing at the time, actually, because the right back position had been an area of concern for the team. We hadn't really had a proper right back since Pat Rice had retired in 1981. We'd had a few players fill in there. Colin Hill had been playing there the previous season. It was obvious that we needed a more experienced right back. So Viv Anderson joined. It cost £250,000 from Nottingham Forest. Of course, he'd won the league title with Nottingham Forest, and he'd won 2 European Cups as well, 2 League Cups. Really experienced player, and of course, he was the first black player to represent the England national team as well. So I was really excited about him signing. And he really did add a new dimension to our right flank. Getting forward, he was phenomenal. Powerful, athletic runs down the wing. Some great deliveries into the box as well. And for a couple of years there, you know, we had quite a good side, didn't we? Until it all kind of fizzled out a little bit in the dying embers of Don Howe's reign. But of course, Viv Anderson would enjoy his best season for Arsenal in the first season under George Graham. It did turn out to be his last season with the club, unfortunately, but he did help us win the League Cup that season, scoring a vital goal against Tottenham in the semi-final, if you remember, when we were 2-0 down to get us right back into the game. And he played a big part in the final as well, where we beat Liverpool. Of course, the first trophy I'd ever seen Arsenal win. So he'll always hold a real special place for me. Everyone who played in that game does as well. So, but that summer, 1987, he left to join Manchester United, and he would later play for Sheffield Wednesday, Barnsley, and Middlesbrough as well. And he was player manager at Barnsley as well for a short time. So, second right back on my list of my top 3 is Dixon. Of course, he was bought to eventually replace Viv Anderson. He arrived at Arsenal in January 1988 for £375,000 from Stoke City. It spent the previous 5-6 years in the lower divisions, actually, with Burnley, with Chester, and with Bury. So he hadn't really enjoyed much of a successful career before he joined Arsenal. And in fact, in 1984, Dixon was part of the Chester side that had finished 92nd in the Football League. And when he joined Arsenal, it was the first time he was going to play top flight football. It took him a while to get established, but his first season, of course, 88-89, his first season as a regular in the team, of course, he helped us to win the title. If you remember that dramatic game, of course, at Anfield, it was his pass up to Alan Smith that, of course, led to the championship winning goal scored in the last minute by Michael Thomas. Fantastic night that was. And for many years, of course, Dixon became the permanent right back for the club. He stayed until 2002 when he retired, having made 616 appearances for the club and scored 28 goals. Of course, many of those goals were penalties. He did take over penalty duty in the late 1980s. A few successful kicks until a couple of misses. There was one particularly against Leeds in the FA Cup, I remember, put it into the North Bank. And after that, Ian Wright took over penalty duty. So he did score a few penalties in his career, but 616 appearances, fantastic career at Arsenal. And he did win 9 major trophies as well. So Dixon has to get in my top 3. So the final right back I've selected for my top three is Lauren, of course, the right back in the Invincible team in 2004. He joined Arsenal in 2000 from Mallorca in Spain. And in the end, he made 242 appearances for the club, scored 11 goals. And of course, he was part of the team that won the double in 2002, the FA Cup in 2003, and of course, the Invincible team in 2004. He did also win another FA Cup in 2005 as well, before leaving in January 2007 to join Portsmouth. But he had a great career at Arsenal. He started off actually as a midfield player. He played his first season in midfield before Arsene Wenger switched him to the right back position at the start of the 2001-2002 season. Of course, we went on to win the double. Fantastic right back, full of athleticism, getting up and down the pitch. And he did chip in with a few goals as well. He scored 11 goals for the club in total. Again, a bit like Lee Dixon, including a few penalties, if you remember, particularly against Tottenham. He seemed to like scoring penalties against Tottenham, didn't he? So that's my top three right backs then. Viv Anderson, Lee Dixon and Lauren. I need to pick one of these to go into my all-time favourite 11. David Seaman was my goalkeeper that I picked the other day. Who's going to go in at right back? I mean, this is a really, really tough choice. I absolutely love Viv Anderson. I'd loved him when he was at Nottingham Forest, and I was so excited when we bought him. I thought he had a decent career at Arsenal as well, and not an easy time either. Of course, he did leave just as we were about to build, or just as George Graham was about to build the team that would go on to have great success in the late 80s and early 90s. But he was a fantastic player for Arsenal. But the fact that he left after 3 years, he left to go to Manchester United. I think, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to select him in my team. So that just leaves then, obviously, Lee Dixon and Lauren. And this is a really, really tough choice, isn't it? I mean, Lauren, part of the Invincible team, fantastic player he was for Arsenal. And he was the new modern kind of fullback, wasn't he, with his forward runs. And, of course, a former midfield player as well, as you'd expect. But I'm afraid for Lauren, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to go with Lee Dixon as my selection. It will be Lee Dixon as my right back, just because of several reasons, really. First of all, the fact that he came through the lower divisions and worked his way up to the very top of the game, played for England as well. And of course, 616 appearances for Arsenal over his career. Absolutely fantastic. 14 years he was at Arsenal for, gave everything for the club. I wouldn't say he was the most technically gifted footballer that we had, certainly not even at that time. But what he lacked in technical ability, he certainly made up for in enthusiasm and heart and desire and work rate as well. Yes, he had his critics at times, and when you play that many games for the club, you're going to. But for his sheer level of consistency and the longevity of his career and his loyalty as well to the club, it has to be my choice for right back, has to be Lee Dixon. So that's that video then. I hope you enjoyed that. I've now got two players in my all-time favourite Arsenal 11, David Seaman in goal and Lee Dixon at right back. Coming up in the next episode, I will be looking at the left backs. I'll be picking three left backs and having to choose one to go in the team. That's going to be a very hard choice, isn't it? Because already just mentioning left backs in my head, there's already some great players there, isn't there, over the years? So that's going to be a really hard choice. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming soon. Also, as well, don't forget, tonight there is my Positive Arsenal podcast, part 6, the Leeds United preview game. I've got a Leeds United fan on as well, joining us on the panel. So that's going to be really good as well. That's at 6 o'clock tonight. So please tune in for that as well. And of course, I'll be doing coverage of the game on Sunday as well, as we build up to kick-off as well, and a full review of the game on Monday as well. So lots coming up on the channel. So if you haven't done so already, please click the subscribe button down in the corner there. Please give this video the thumbs up as well. Stay tuned to the channel. Lots of great stuff coming on. And of course, in the meantime, as always, come on, you Gunners!